Sometimes you screw up. This is one where it took longer than it should have. That's on me. So hope to God this fixes it. We'll find out here in a minute.
This video is brought to you in part by TruTech Tools. Quality tools, essential support.
All right, guys, so here's what's been going on. I've been on this job for a while now, and it is a server room AC unit, and it is acting up. It's freezing up. We've had multiple people here. I've had a lot of problems with it in the past, and so it's having problems again. It's our 22 system that's been converted to 407C back in 2022. And let's go take a peek and I'll show you what we got going on. All right, so up here's the server room on the right-hand side. So we've got a supply right here, 4x4, and we've got another one up here. And so that's the server room, okay? So, and you've got a mini split up here, which isn't doing a very good job either. It's not big enough. So my unit is up here, conveniently located. Really makes it general and pretty neat. But luckily they have a lift here. I am trying out my new bag I just got, which this is not labeled. I don't know what they call this thing. They didn't label it. I'm liking it. So it's got a place for my meter and my probes right there. And then it zips right up, keeps everything safe. Got another big old pocket here on the back. Then you got crap tons of room here on the front. It doesn't come with the shoulder strap, but it does come with this deal here. Oh, that's one of the Tech series. But I got all kinds of room for my stuff here. And this is really great because it almost carries everything I do in my other bag, which I really love, but it still gets kind of heavy. And this one right here is not heavy at all. So anyhow, TruTech Tools, 6% discount, survival discount code at checkout. So let's go ahead and take a ride up here on the top, up and away. So this here is made for this kind of stuff. Our controls guys have completely rewired it to work with Johnson Controls because that's what majority of their stuff is. So we've completely removed the control board that was in there, and so we've got it all labeled out and all that happy jazz. Stulz is what it is. This is a 2008 unit. It's been tinkered with a lot. What we've got here, we've had a low pressure switch that was leaking, which we chopped that out, or one of the other guys did. So we got rid of that and we put a replaceable one right there on it. And then you've got a manual reset, which is right there. You can see that. I got my suction clamp there and my liquid clamp here. So this goes out, the compressor's inside here. Ooh, that's working. So we're running 407C, and like I said, this thing was originally built for R22. You know, we've got some safeties in here. One of the other guys had added a sensor for freeze protection, but the problem is it's still tripping. So this thing has got humidity built right into it. The coil was changed back in 2018. It was converted in 2022. The filter didn't look too bad. I pulled it out just to try to see if that helped my suction. You got your TXV back here in the back. I adjusted that to about 15 degree, 16 degree, just to see if I could get a better run on it. It's not running. What is going on? It says it's running, but it's not looking like it. It sure feels like it's running. It's hotter than crap. So the high pressure switch is actually showing tripped. Airflow shows okay. Low pressure switch is bypassed right now because we're trying to figure things out. There's compressor relay. It says it's calling. I don't know which contactor's compressor. Check my fan speed. Fan speed's fast as it can go. It's a half horse motor. It's 1025 RPM. Went through everything. It's just not feeding. It acts like it's restricted now. This is totally different than what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you originally was that it was running a super low evaporator temperature. Like I said, one of the guys had put a actual snap disc on there, had it on there, but it's not working very well for that, and it was never needed before. Why do we need it now? What I'm getting at is I think we're fractionated. It does not appear to be running. Oh, there it is. So it just kicked on. This does have a solenoid in there, which they replaced the magnet on that. So we're going to see our saturated suction pressure or saturated suction temperature do pretty good here. And then there's our superheating and our subcooling. Our subcooling is through the roof. We have been averaging 46 degrees subcooling, somewhere in that ballpark. And for the most part, we think the 407C was too efficient. But at this point, we're planning on getting rid of the 407C. It was going to go to 22, but that's when we found out that it had been converted back in 2022. So it worked for quite a while, but all of a sudden we just had all these problems. Low pressure switch tripping, coil freezing up, just all over the charts. As you'll notice there, the superheat's dropping down, but it's finding its way. Our saturated looks pretty good. We're at 39. I'd be happy if it would stay there, but eventually it compounds on itself. Our fan cycle, I've got it set for about 95 degrees off, and then comes back on at about 115, I think, or 120, which we're gonna probably drive that up just to compensate. But before we do that, like I said, I wanna check the refrigerant. We're just gonna pull it. We've had some leaks on the suction side. I don't know if we've ever pulled it completely. I'm gonna double check with the other guy that was out here, but like I said, that saturated temperature just drops way down there. And so this is some wild stuff. No matter what we looked at, it's like, okay, well, are we low on charge? Well, subcooling says we're not. Is our TXV restricted? Well, superheat says we're not because we got good superheat. But then when your saturated temperature there gets down to 26 degrees, 27 degrees, what are you gonna do? You know, you speed the fan up, that'd be great. I mean, it's worked fine for how long? I mean, you've got a very short run that comes down through here and right into that server room. The filter goes right in here, it's wide open. The evaporator, I shined a light through it, so let's mark the airflow issue off. Have not checked static, but once again, it has been working fine up till just now. All the ducts are connected. The temperature temperature drop is quite extreme. We had a 27 degree temperature drop. So we're running at room temperature at about 67 degrees, which is what they want, it's what it's been doing. You know, it should be able to handle it. It's commercial grade equipment made for server rooms. So like I said, superheat's hanging in there a little lower than what I want. I want to bring that up, but it's finding itself. Subcooling's still way high. And some of the shots that I had earlier, I had 35 degrees saturated, 106. This is on a swing here. And we had a superheat of 12 and a subcooling of 41. On our temperatures, here we go. We had 44 degrees going out and 72.3 coming back from the server room. That is pulling it right off the top of the ceiling. It does not appear to be recirculating straight from one side to the other. So keep checking things off here, guys, because even one of our top guys that I usually ask for help from even is stumped. We don't know what else it could be besides the refrigerant. Maybe originally we were thinking the 407C was way too efficient and that the coils now are oversized, so our evaporator is now oversized, our condenser's oversized, which if it's oversized, that would give us the greater subcooling because we have more liquid now in the condenser because it's cooling it down. And like I said too, or I don't know if I mentioned it, but that
liquid line there was freaking cold.
Before. Even now, it's not that warm. It's 61, 62 degrees right here. You know, generally you'd be higher than that. But I thought about opening that TXV a little bit more. It still seemed like it's way down there low. But as you can see, it's compounding and it's getting, you know, I mean, it's not in a dangerous spot. I literally taken the TXV all the way open, all the way closed, and put it back in the middle, then adjusted from there. So if there was something in it, we kind of eliminated that. It has a new filter dryer. Supposedly the compressor's been changed. It's just had a whole bunch of things done to it. It was installed, like I said, back in 2008. I was working on it back in 2015. I came to this company back in August of 2014. So I had been here for about a year and it was low on refrigerant back then. Long ago, when I was here, the factory told me at 12 degrees subcooling, 14 to 18 degrees superheat. That was what the factory said back then. And that was the original control board. For whatever reason, we ended up getting rid of it and going to that there so they could monitor it, and it just made it a little easier. Superheat's perfect now. 13 degrees, you know, it's stabilized. I mean, it's only been running now for a few minutes. Subcooling's still way high. So we're thinking we had an issue with the refrigerant being refractionated. 407C, I believe, is 2 or 3. So yeah, it is a tri-mix. We are using R32, 125, and 134A. So you've got 3 refrigerants in this beautiful 407C stuff, and it could leak at different mixtures. And it was leaking on the low side, according to what one of the other guys said. It has a 100-year global warming potential of 1774, only slightly lower than calculated value of 1960. for the R22 refrigerant. Wow, it's not very much lower, is it? That's kind of stupid. And then the GW bullcrap there. Yeah, I'm not a believer in it. Sorry, guys. We don't die by global warming. So, yeah, there's your percentages. You got 50%, 134A. We are running 13 degrees superheat. Everything looks beautiful there, but that evaporator, I really don't like it. Now, granted, we don't have much load in there. It's 67 degrees in there. You can see where I'm going with this. Eventually, it starts to freeze up. Yeah, right here, you can see it. You can see it starting to freeze up right there. And you can see it here. It's freezing down here on the bottom. And he had that one mixture right here. You can see back here in the back here on those capillary tubes, we are starting to freeze up back here too. Now, yeah, the fan's off. I understand that. The door's off. I understand that. But it's an issue. And yeah, you could probably get a off-cycle defrost built into it with that control, but why do we need to do it now? So we're going to try the different refrigerant, or I'm not going to say different, we're going to try new refrigerant. You can see what our superheat did when I had the door off. It dropped all the way down below zero there. Okay, so this really sucks. I talked to the guy. He had already put brand new refrigerant in it, pulled a vacuum. So that kind of blows that up. I'm not real sure. So I'm going to tie this back together. I didn't bring in my harness for my camera, but I'm just going to reconnect the wires to where they belong and start over from there. That just totally blows everything up. I'm not even sure what you're supposed to do now, since everything we've come up with blows everything up. It really seems like airflow. That is a universal motor. It is half horse. It's going as fast as it can go. It's going the correct direction. It's just slightly dirty. I mean, we're just talking maybe a dust of, you know, very minute, maybe 2, 3, 4 pages of paper thick. I mean, it's just, you know, enough to make my hands brown like that. That's about it. Very fine powder. I mean, it's not like it's in a welding shop. It's in a freaking server room, you know? So I went in there and took it 3/4. Click, click, click for the TXV to reduce the superheat, raise it. Came in here, hooked it back up off the schematic, got the high pressure back in there, got the low pressure. And the high pressure is manual reset, trips at like I thought it was 410 or 420, but somebody has it wrote up there at 375. Suction's back in, so we've got everything hooked back the way it was originally. Like I said, after talking to him, that kind of screws up my hopes and dreams of it being fractionation. I may have went the wrong direction with the TXV or 7. It's coming up. Saturation was holding good. But like I said, it don't run long enough, and then you got these fast cycles on and off, trying to hold like a 40-pound, 50-pound differential. Everything's back to normal. The high pressure switch appears to be tripped. It should not have tripped. But that's not the problem we've been having up till now. We were having problems with low pressure switch opening up, which we're nowhere near that area to trip, and it's not been when most people are here. Like I said, you know, now that it's ran for a little while, shoot, we got pretty good. 14 degrees superheat there. They were shooting for 14 to 18 back in the day. You know, yeah, it's running for a little while. It's no filter in there. If it would just stay here, everything would be grand and glorious, but unfortunately it's not. So this is the outside unit. You can see the Mitsubishi there. It isn't big enough. Looks like a 2.5 ton. I don't know why you'd put something so small in. But this beast is completely clean, and the guys are doing the maintenance right now. They just washed it out. You can hear it cycle on and off. It came on about 270. You gotta remember, it's not the same as R22 anymore. It's a little different. See if we can raise this up a touch. At this point, we're running out of options on what we can do to make this thing work better. They take her up there, basically mimicking a 90-degree day, 95-degree day. It might be a little higher than I care for, but if we can keep that freaking suction up, yeah, you're kicking out about a 55, almost 60 degrees or 60-pound swing. Let me adjust that. I didn't know if you noticed, but that fits the top. So if you don't have any room, I never run it that high, but you get too much of a swing, then the TXV takes a total dump and has a hissy fit. let's see where that comes in at. So 300 comes in at 120 degree liquid temperature. And, you know, if we were in California, that's no big deal because, hell, it runs 120 degrees out there sometimes. Not around here. We're lucky if we're 95 to 100 at the most. So we're not out of line. Then to kick out at, I think we said 240. So 240 is 104. Let's try that and see how we do. I mean, that's not crazy for 407C. You're kind of running out of options. What do you do? Why does this thing keep freezing up? What more can you do? It seems like we got enough airflow. It's not uncommon to see these things constantly rapidly cycle like this. You can see it right there, not real wonderful, but it's not flashing. Not that you would 100% go with that anyway, because this is, does not have a receiver. And no, this is not Amazon. This is a local business here. Get back up a little bit here, see what we got. Everything seems to be in order here. All my lights are on that should be on, whether it be smoke, fire, humidity, filter switch, low pressure, high pressure, and we're running on the higher side there, but like I said, 120 degrees, and we're holding in there at 35. So maybe now we'll be all right, I don't know. Superheat's holding at 13, subcooling's 34. Yeah, it's one of them things. I unfortunately feel like it's gonna pop up. It worked for almost a month and something, and then acted up again later. Just don't know what else to do with it when you're good on your airflow. It's the same airflow you've always had. Fans been replaced with universal a while back, long ago. No time that we noticed in the last at least 4 or 5 years. I don't remember replacing it, and I was, like I said, here 10 years ago originally. So yeah, a lot of chit chat, I know. 35 degree saturation there. We put the filter back in. As you can notice there, our coil is clean. Okay, so we recovered the charge. We're pulling a quick back because I don't have any moisture in it. I'm just getting into a negative. And then we're gonna bust open this Green Goblin. It's a brand new jug of Green Goblin. We're gonna put it back in there. This is what the boss wants to do. This is what we're gonna do. So, yep. It is what it is, bros. The crap was designed for it. The crap used to work, now it don't work. I don't know, what else are you gonna do? And that's what they wanna try. That's what they wanna try. Myself, after I went and made all the adjustments, I think it's, I was willing to try it, but let's just, let's see how it reacts. Like I said, it's time to change. If it reacts and works the way it should here with this refrigerant, then we know that if it leaks again, because it's had little leaks multiple times, if it leaks again, then we can say, hey, we tried alternative refrigerants, it didn't work, you have problems with it, it freezes up, and you know what, it's time for a new unit, you have no other options. And then we can go from there. Hopefully I can find a refrigerant charge chart. Got her set for 22. So we put 407C in it right there, and those scumbags put in there exactly how many ounces or pounds it took. So you don't even have a clue. That's nice, thanks guys, really appreciate that. I got back over here and it had dumped 6.5 pounds in there. Hopefully that's about right, because we have no clue. We're gonna base it off of subcooling and superheat. With it cycling on and off and everything else, I readjusted the fan back down to about 275, which is typical of what I used to use for 22. Let's see what happens. The Green Goblin rule again, let's find out. Yeah, decided to get this done because I'm a dedicated, stupid employee, and we're at 435, so we're squeezing that in there. Yep, loving it, loving it, loving it. Living the dream, baby. Oh my, it just kicked on. There we go, give me some head, give me some suction. There you go. So we're running a 33 degree saturated temperature there. Subcooling's higher than hell. It ain't kicking on fan yet. Okay, it's been running for a while now and it's still not coming down in superheat. I'm gonna open that valve up. It's been dinked with. Let's see what happens when I open it up. So we have had to open up that TXV because it was going into a pump down. We have little to no superheat at all. And I'm going home. You know what? I didn't want to do this. I thought it was a bad idea. But I just followed directions, and I should have said, yep, we'll wait till tomorrow. But unfortunately, my idiot butt decided, hey, just be a good employee, I wanted to prove him wrong. I mean, that's basically what I wanted to do, I'll be honest with you. And yeah, this didn't fix it, so I proved him wrong, but who got bit in the butt? Me. So, you know, at this point, the low pressure switch trips, and then it shuts off power going out to the high pressure switch, which is also how it's keeping track. The compressor sends out to the contactor, and on its way to the contactor, it sends a signal back to the controller telling you, yeah, I'm closed like I should be. And what it was doing is low pressure was opening. So by cutting it all the way in, or turning the TXV all the way in to raise up that superheat, which you can see right here, we basically have about, what, 3 degrees of subcooling on the suction side, because we're, you know, 3 degrees in the wrong direction. Yeah, that's where we're at. So we'll probably have to deal with this thing tomorrow. And it's later than I care to be. 6:14, why? Been here all day. What a great time this was. So unproductive, and especially when it was working pretty damn decent before I jacked with it. All right, guys, so we're back again today. I just made a call into the factory. So I got my manometer up here on the unit, and we've got it coming in on the return, and I've got it over there on the other side on the actual supply side. What we've got total here is 0.3 on the static. So on my supply side, I have 0.1. On my return, I have 0.08. I put the top one right there, so 0.08, 0.09, and then 0.15 on the other. Grand total difference, 0.22. It's rated for 0.3 from what I've seen. So right down here, blower fan, external static pressure, 0.3. We converted this, like I was saying, back on 8/15/22. I don't remember doing it. I don't think it was me. I'm also trying to find out how many pounds of refrigerant holds, but we appear to be where we need to be at for our static pressure. Evaporator motor, 3rd horsepower. Doesn't say the actual RPMs. We have a 1/2 horse in there. I don't see anything wrong with a bigger engine for the blower motor, as long as we're moving the CFM we need. Yeah, I don't see anything else of any real usefulness here. And I did check Copeland mobile app for the compressor, and it is, you know, POE oil and all that happy jazz. Now what do? You know? So it did trip out. When I left here, it was flooding back, and so I turned on the Mitsubishi and got it running from there. Okay, we can see bottom left corner down there where my pointer's at. That's not as cold. See it coming in on the TXV. All right, guys, so just got off the phone with the factory. They sent me a book, and it had nothing about charge information other than, really, they didn't even tell you subcooling superheat. It's old enough that they ain't got it in their computer, so I finally gauge up, and look now what we got. Now we have too high a superheat. Subcooling's not crazy as it was before. I'm loving it. You know, sure, we got a little bit of freezing going on in the coil there. So this leads you back to thinking the TXV, yeah, I might have rushed it a little bit, but man, it should have eventually came up. So we're gonna adjust the TXV, see where we're at, and original intent here was to remove some refrigerant. Total disaster. But yeah, I was really hoping to get some good information out of it. We know that the CFM, or the static pressure, I should say, is where it should be at. So like I said, we can see if we can get that tuned in. Once we get it tuned in, we'll take out and see if we can drop that subcooling down where it needs to be at. Totally wasted the time. The guy was nice, but unfortunately he couldn't get me the information I needed. I want to show you what I found. I finally found something. See if we can get this thing in here without running over somebody or something. All right, so over here's the filter dryer behind this panel. The TXV's over here behind that panel. So when you look at that, we are at about 100 degrees, 102 degrees, somewhere in that ballpark. And then as it gets over to here, and I put a piece of tape on that so we can kind of have a constant temperature. Nothing changes until you get over to here. When you get over to here, when you go to that center conductor right there, we are at a 70 degree liquid. So we got a 30 degree drop. When you're at the edge of the filter dryer, like if you go to the edge of the filter dryer, there you go. There's a pretty good example. Yep, there's a good example. So yeah, you can see that our center is 85 there, and we are 75 there. And when we come over to here, we're 97. So yeah, we got issues there, bro. Yep, that's what you got. There's our problem. So pull the refrigerant out, replace that. First time I've ever seen a filter dryer hardly do anything. So yeah, it's terrific. All right, I'm starting the recovery process with Mr. 45 here, R22. It loves it. It feels at home. We're doing the liquid first, just because this does have a solenoid that stops the flow. We got a lot of liquid, lots of liquid. All right, so we just got it finished. We got the new dryer in there, and I blew through the old one. It definitely feels somewhat restricted, but it ain't like it's 100% restricted. Like I was saying, it was at the very end somehow, unless it was gummed up. I mean, I can blow through it, but it ain't like no problem at all. I'm gonna check that TXV real quick too, make sure it's not gummed up. All right, so I just loosened that up. We're gonna check this pin, see if it's gummed up, whatever. Nitrogen wasn't used every time. You know what, it happens, especially with the old crap. R22, I mean, that crap just, yeah, whatever. So there's a pin right there. You can't hardly see it, but that's what we're trying to get out of there. All right, let's see if we can get these. There we go. So yeah, you can see there's a little bit of crap on it. And all that does is go up and down, fighting against the spring. A little bit of crud on that right there. So I brought some, I was gonna hit it with some brake cleaner, but I thought, you know what? We're gonna spray it with a little bit of penetrating oil. That way it's lubricated and cleaned at the same time. I can almost bounce it back and forth. I can kind of feel it go back and forth a little bit, so we're good. The spring is brown and nasty. Believe me, I know it's a pain in the butt to use nitrogen and stuff sometimes, but we are all the way cranked out, so we can, I'm gonna put it back to the center position. All that's doing is changing that thing in and out. So if we were to count it with turns, and you put it in about the halfway position, you will be back to factory spec according to what they say at Sportland. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5 turns. So let's go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it turned a little bit on me. There we go. So we're right in the middle position. That spring, like I said, we'll spray that. Oil, I'm not worried about it that much. I just want to get any crap off of it. These microfibers really do a nice job at getting things loose and clean. You can see that there, and that there, right there. Well, that cap goes right like that, like that. That goes down in there like that. And then that pushes up against the bottom of that rod that you seen there earlier. Any oil is better than no oil. This oil's not going in the system. I wiped off everything that was on it. That shoved it up the rest of the way. Use backup wrench. We'll snug that up with my flat jaw pliers. I did check the sensing bulb. I did that earlier. Make sure it was tight. I mean, we've been through a lot here. You're just seeing the aftermath after everything's went to heck and back. And what's really crazy is we had good superheat on the 407C. We had good superheat, but the subcooling was high. And looking back, I was thinking that the fan kicking on and off and cycling like that was at fault for all that issue. Kind of crappy weather, it was cooler. So I missed it, whatever. I screw up, believe me. I mean, something as simple as a freaking filter dryer. That's just so elementary, it's not even funny, but whatever. Crap happens. So I've got this bulb so it can vibrate without hitting anything. Just gonna put this panel back on. This, I don't, you know, thank goodness I got this stupid, this lift, because this would really suck. Trying to do this on a straight ladder, which is what my old company would have had us do, because they never got lifts for anything, which luckily this lift belongs to the company I'm working at. but there was plenty of times I had to do gas lines up in the freaking air with scaffolding. Scaffolding was always their thing because it's cheaper. Compete on price, never on quality. Okay, we just got done pulling the fast vac. We're in the negatives. I am not worried about being perfect vacuum because we didn't have a leak. It's not going to go from one side to the other because that solenoid's in there. I'm going to take that out of a vacuum. All that solenoid's there for is to keep it from migrating back to the compressor on the off cycle because these do run in really cold weather, which I found out this unit here only works down to 0. Otherwise, you need to go to variable speed condenser head to go down to -20, and if you want -30, you got to go to a flooded condenser coil type design with a headmaster. Is what it is, bros. And I just hope to goodnesses that my filter dryer didn't get plugged up because it was kind of difficult to get it to slide on with all that braze rod on top of it, and I didn't really have a lot of room. You know, that dryer's back there. You can't hardly see it. It's back here. That's why I couldn't get to it, because I couldn't get to it here. Stupid me. I should have got over to it and looked at it and kind of went from there, but you know, things happen. It is what it is. Make mistakes, you're going to remember to look next time and not make this mistake again. So right now we're hanging in there at 7 pounds, 21 degrees of subcooling, and because this thing loves to swing, even though I've got that thing holding pretty steady, we're doing better in our evaporator there at 34. Superheat sometimes does good, and then when it does that stupid swingy ding, I don't understand why they're running the fan 3,000 mile an hour. It's just, I got the coil probably 80% blocked off completely, and you still have enough horsepower to pull that air through it. Why? Yeah, this is one of them videos where I'm gonna leave you see me make a mistake. You know, I caught it eventually, but it sure was a lot of wasted time. Should have known that subcooling should have never been that high. I thought my freaking fan was causing it. Look at that, we're not freezing no more. That's good. Now my subcooling's getting stupid, see? And I got talking to the guy that did the work originally. That just now started happening. What's going on? Are we pumping down and shutting off? What's going on here? That superheat or subcooling just took a crap. He said this happened before, after he changed the compressor. Oh, we lost our superheat because you know, the Testo's having a problem connecting from there to here. I mean, God bless them. You'd think we could have less problems with the damn probes. I don't get it. It's not like I'm trying to work and I really need these stupid things to shut off on me. It's enough to piss you off. So it turned green and I reached in there and it turned orange again. Really? Freaking piece of shit. Did a review on this and I am giving one of these and another one away. Check that video out. It was last week I did it. About a $400 some unit here, and then the other one's like 200. If you want to win it, you better watch it. Better say something in the comment section. I'll pick a winner. I think it's the 15th or 16th. I got to tighten that thing up. I need to change batteries in that probe. I need to change batteries in my weight scale. We're at 7 pounds. I know our discharge, that was one thing we did not check, was discharge temperature, and if I would have, that would have told me a lot. I got 173 up there at the top of my compressor. So our compressor's not overheating. Here we're at 153. Come on, 153 there. So here's what we ended up doing. So that we'd have constant airflow, we blocked off the coil, trying to hold a 225 area head pressure. We got it blocked off. That many mats is what we got in there, blocking that off, and it still almost overcomes it. So I literally was blocking off that much coil and holding it in there with a clothes hanger. And this stupid thing just short cycles like crazy. With the fan cycling like it could, it's going up maybe 18 degrees subcooling, dropping so low as to maybe, I don't know, what, 16 or something. It goes up to, I think, 30 sometimes, and then superheat's been holding pretty steady, 13, 14-ish area. I'd say we're gonna leave it there. Well, guys, unless something catastrophic happens, which it may happen, you never know, this will wrap it up. If you guys haven't already, subscribe, click the like button, leave a comment down below. Was I an idiot for missing the high subcooling, thinking that it was the fan cycling? You tell me. Whatever. We all screw up, and we had 3 other guys here before me, so none of them caught it either. I guess we all suck. Anyhow, it's running, and we'll just kind of go from there. I'm just glad we got it, but you know, when a guy tells me that the filter dryer plugged up a couple times after he changed the compressor, that kind of scares me a little bit. Till next time, later.